my beautiful little unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. And if this is the first time that you're on my channel, please allow for me to introduce myself to you. My name is Vanessa Somuayina, and I have conducted tens of thousands of readings on and offline, and today I will be guiding you through your psychic prediction that's all about the next unexpected chapters that are coming towards your life. Yes, this reading is timeless, so whenever you chose to click this video is the perfect time for you to receive your messages. And in order for you to figure out precisely what's coming towards you, to understand what to do and how to heal through your current situation, I have prepared 3 groups for you to choose from, and I would like you to pick one of these 3 groups intuitively. So I will introduce you to the 3 groups right now, and then I'll give you a little moment of privacy to meditate on the 3 groups before we get into your predictions. Group number 1 corresponds to the Daily Crystal Inspiration Oracle, as well as the Black Obsidian Crystal. Group number 2 corresponds to the Witch's Wisdom Oracle, as well as the Red Jasper Crystal. And group number 3 corresponds to the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck, as well as the Rainbow Fluorite Crystal. The timestamps to these 3 groups can be found below in the description box, as well as pinned to the top of the comment section for quick and easy access from your TVs, your laptops, your mobile devices, as well as your tablets. So I will now provide you with your moment of privacy. Feel free to pause the video right here if you need a little longer to meditate on the 3 groups. And I always like to recommend that you close your eyes and allow for your fingertips to kind of just move across the screen, and wherever you feel like there's a little bit of this tingling, there's this heat almost that you can sense, that is the perfect group for you. So I'll give you your moment of privacy, and then I'll be right back to guide you into your predictions. Alright, so by now I trust that you have selected one of these 3 groups. If you absolutely cannot make up your mind, know that you can tune into 2 groups, because sometimes a mixture of 2 groups makes up for your personal reading that you need in that very moment. I will now get into your readings, starting off with the first group, which is the Daily Crystal Inspiration deck, as well as the Black Obsidian Crystal. So if this is the group that you chose, then please continue watching. And to my 2 other beautiful groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamps. Hello, my beautiful soul of group number 1, and welcome to your prediction. This is going to be a very detailed and to the point reading. I hope you're ready for it. Make sure that you get yourself comfortable. If you're watching this while you're commuting, just lean back, relax, and enjoy this reading, and make sure that you really take in all of the messages that I've got for you. And in case this is the first time that you're on my channel, my name is Vanessa Somuayina, and you guys also know me as your big sis from the internet. So you chose the Black Obsidian in correspondence to the Daily Crystal Inspiration deck. This is the gorgeous Black Obsidian, which is a really protective stone. And on average, all crystals that are black or very dark are said to absorb energies. So helping you to absorb negative energies, unwanted energies, that's what this crystal does. And that's maybe also why you felt drawn to it and why you ended up picking this crystal, group number 1. But let's move further into your reading to see what other crystals resonate with you right now, as those are the precise ones we are going to receive. So first up, we've got the agate. This is a crystal that's all about you moving back into balance. What's coming for you in the next chapter of your life that you didn't expect is more balance, in a sense of you are not so overwhelmed, you're not so anxious, you're not overworking yourself, you're actually going to bed on time, you're actually drinking enough water, you're actually in balanced relationships, especially here in correspondence to the Black Obsidian. If you have only had romantic relationships and situationships as of lately that were unsuccessful or even toxic, let me tell you, this next chapter is going to finally free you from that misery misery. I also received enemy for you here as I pulled one of these messages out of our little velvet pouch. So this is going to move back into balance. Someone who is opposed to you, someone who has been seen as an enemy by you, I want you to know that in the next chapter of your life, very unexpectedly, they're actually going to turn into a super fan. They're actually going to turn into your biggest supporter. And I know this may seem strange, but just think about it. Love and hate are pretty close to one another. They're very strong emotions. And I see here with the agate and your enemy that they're realizing there's no point in being against you. They're also realizing that you're not threatening them. They are realizing that being on your side, being on your team is going to serve them more than being your enemy. Hence why they're going to try to be buddy-buddy with you. Hence why this enemy of yours is going to try to become your friend. Look, we've got the shungite. Remember we spoke about dark crystals? Now the shungite shows up, which is all about detoxing your life. So you, group number one, you know that this enemy is not to be trusted. And even though they're trying to be your friend, they're trying to be buddy-buddy, you are not going to start any drama because of that, because you don't have the time and energy for it. You will keep them at arm's length. But one of the laws of power, by the way, in case you've read this Robert Greene book, it's called The 48 Laws of Power. And it's basically about human nature and how to attain power as a human being. One of the laws is that if you employ or work with someone who was your enemy or your opponent, they have more to prove than a friend. And they're probably going to be more loyal to you than a friend would be, especially as they've changed teams, they've switched sides. So sometimes you may think that you have to watch your back more with enemies, but you're not realizing actually in certain situations, especially with work, they may be more loyal to you than a friend because they've got more to prove. So we've got, 3 cards that popped out as I was shuffling. These just fell straight out of the deck, which means this is some very blunt messaging that you have to receive. And we're going to go through this quickly. So first we've got the hematite, another dark crystal, another absorbent. This is about grounding yourself. So the more you refuse to overthink this enemy situation, the more you will be able to just ground yourself. It is what it is. They want to be your friend now. Accept it. Use it for what they're good at. Now we've also got the jade and the bloodstone. The jade is a crystal of being the bigger person. It really does feel like your angels are right here listening in and chiming into your reading, doesn't it, group number one? Because the bloodstone is about getting up, get moving. So rather than overthinking why this person wants to be your friend all of a sudden, why this person has now switched up their vibe, focus on your career, focus on your success, focus on what you want, and use whoever has a talent or a skill that will serve you in order to get to where you're trying to go. You've got to keep a slim ego for a thick wallet, as the Ariana Grande said in one of her infamous songs. Now, I want you to know here within the bloodstone, this is about movement in your next chapters, not about anyone else but you. You getting to where you're trying to go. You getting to these next levels professionally, financially, and also mentally. So group number one, please try to, as much as you can, not overthink people. Use them, pay them. So I don't mean use them in the sense of like using them in a way that is morally wrong. I mean, if they're good at their job, use them, pay them, take credit for the work and what it is that they brought to your company, what it is that they brought to your project. And here in the 10 of Wands, stop overworking yourself, all right? The next chapters of your life are about learning to work smarter, not harder. We know you can work hard, group number one. And I'm getting this message that you have something to prove. You've always had something to prove, proving to your parents that you're not lazy. I'm getting this kind of like mother wound where you're proving that, yeah, you can work hard. You're proving that everything she put in wasn't in vain. And I want you to know here in the Ten of Wands, like, we know you work hard. We know you are honest, you are a kind person. Okay, we had the Strength card that appeared next for you. We know you're strong, group number one. The Strength card didn't just appear now at this point in your reading for nothing. It is a clear symbol that you needed this reassurance that, yeah, you're strong, you've put in the work, everyone knows you're strong. You're actually the strongest person that most people know. When they think of strength, they think of you. By the way, even though it doesn't say it on this tarot card, the Strength card corresponds to the number 8, which is the number of creation. It corresponds to the zodiac sign of Leo. You will forever be someone who others can count on and rely on. And here with the Ten of Wands and Strength, don't feel like you have to go out and put in the extra hours, overwork yourself, kill yourself for nothing, basically. Okay, you don't have anything to prove anymore. Everyone knows here in the Eight of Swords that you're the kind of person who can work their tush off if they need to. The Eight of Swords, as you can see here, it shows this blindfolding kind of scenario. It shows this, I want to say, like rope that's just in knots. So when you overthink whether you've worked hard enough to attain something, that's when things start to get challenging, okay? That's when you start to interfere with the energies, you start to interfere with your own manifestations, group number one. You have to stop connecting the rewards that you're getting to the amount of hours that you've put in. There are people who don't work hard at all and they get a lot of rewards, okay? Financially, they get a lot of rewards from society. They are constantly being awarded even though they don't put in a lot of work. Why can't you be one of those people, group number one? Why can't you be someone who lives their best life, who doesn't overwork themselves, and still heavily is rewarded? That is the question that I'm getting here from Spirit and from your guides, and that is something that I want you to learn, or shall I say to unlearn, and if it were to learn to let go of that mindset. All right, so next up we have got the Six of Fire. This shows that you have had this competition going on. This is either a sibling rivalry or someone that you went to school with and they used to kind of make fun of you about the way that you look, the way that you articulate yourself. They used to say that they will be more successful than you. And I see here that on Judgment Day, actually, you're feeling very confident that you emerged as the winner. You emerged as the one that actually, in the end, was very successful. So the Six of Fire does show me this victory and this fearlessness and this strength from you, where you're no longer afraid of people where in the past you thought were the ones who might win or triumph over you. Now, the Thought card showing up is indicative of your thought process being something that can enlighten you if you allow it to just reveal some of the ways in which your own thoughts are sabotaging you. Now, the Thought card is about the light side and the challenging side of your thoughts. Your thoughts make or break you. Your thoughts create your reality. Your thoughts truly are what connect the dots in order for you to live either a life that's amazing or a life that's filled with struggle. But group number one, I want you to understand here also with this Pentacles, let me just show you again this pentacle symbol that is under this chalice in which she's looking into, and it's almost like there's this enlightenment, like there's this light, a fire, just something that is, I don't want to say on fire, that is lit up within this bowl, within this chalice, and there is a dragon head here on it as well. So bravery, the suit of pentacles is the suit of the element of earth. It pertains to everything in the earthly realm, and she's looking into it with wonderment. So your thoughts are going to bring to you some truths that you were not aware of up until now. So shortly after you have received this reading, group number one, please don't be surprised if something comes into your mind that changes the way you see yourself and the world forever. And it is triggered through this psychic prediction here because it opened up your thoughts to new possibilities, and also to the fact that your desires were given to you for a reason. Sometimes we feel like our desires are like selfish, or we even feel a little self-conscious about our desires. Have you ever thought to yourself like, oh, why do I want this luxurious life? Or why do I want this really good-looking partner? Why do I want to look a certain way? It's not that you are this person who's a huge narcissist or who wants too much out of life. This desire was given to you because these things were made for you to enjoy. That beautiful house by the ocean in this warm country that you own, that you visit whenever you want to, this desire, this vision was given to you because these things exist for people like you to enjoy. A supercar, for example, it doesn't just exist because, oh, one day someone decided to make a supercar. There are people who have a desire to own such a thing, to experience such a thing in this human life that is so short. And that was made for them, for their desire to be fulfilled. And just as your desires will be fulfilled, don't think that life isn't a trade-off. You being able to afford these desires, traveling the world, for example, you are also fulfilling someone's desire. Think about the job that you're doing. You are solving someone's problem. You are allowing for someone else's desire to be fulfilled. So why shouldn't your desires be fulfilled as well? And I see here within the crone that stepping into this full ownership and this deep power of knowing that there's nothing wrong in what you want, whether it's something that's lavish, that seems like it's over the top, or that seems way too luxurious for someone like you. And that's maybe something that you've heard from close family, and it just kind of put you off of even talking about the things you desire. I just want you to know that becoming unapologetic about your desires, going for them and experiencing them, is what comes next and really unexpectedly within your life, because you were always a little bit more low-key. But when you began to understand that there are so many people who are unapologetic, they're not low-key, and that's really the only way for you to move forward at this point in your life, because you've played it small for long enough. I see that just trusting your intuition, which is why this card has showed up next, is precisely what is going to get you everything that you desire. Stop overthinking the how. Simply focus on feeling into that reality, because the universal law states that when you feel yourself into these realities, like the reality of owning your dream house, of having a spouse, a partner, someone you can rely on, a soulmate in your life, of great health and happiness, when you actually feel it ahead of time, is when you draw it into your reality. Trust your intuition about the things that you want. All right? Remember to focus on the evidence of these things actually being meant for you. Here we've got the big changes card from my Wild Muse Oracle, and this shows us that what comes next in the next chapters for you are truly some huge happy changes. The more you trust your intuition, the more you trust that whatever you desire was created for you, the more you will find that these big changes come into your life, and then finally you're just living the life that you were destined to live. Some people, they don't want a soulmate. Some people don't want to live with someone. Some people don't want kids. Some people don't want a lot of money, a lot of responsibilities that have to do with material things. Some people don't want to own a home. They would rather rent forever and live abundantly and just travel the world and go from city to city. Some people don't want a stable job in one place, but other people love that routine. Remember, we all have different desires. And group number 1, your desire was given to you for a reason. Don't put it down. Don't feel like your desire is quote unquote too much, because there are people out here who would never question their desires, and guess what? They're getting everything that they desire and more. They say nice people ask for nothing, and that's exactly what they get, nothing. or as we can see here within our message from your guides, salt in the wound. So salt is something that I want you to always remember is identical visually to sugar, but it's a very different experience. So remember here that sometimes there will be situations in which here in the Eight of Swords, you thought, oh, this is sweet, this is sugar, this is amazing, but actually it's salt. And the universe giving you rejection is often protection of too much salt. Being in a situationship, because I'm getting a message here of you really wanted this to work out with this person. You already saw your wedding day, you saw where you'd lived together, the kids, the whole 9 yards. It didn't work out with them. All right, tall, curly hair, very structured face, handsome person. It didn't work out with them. And it felt like salt in the wound, but actually it was just the universe protecting you for something that is better, for something that will not betray you. Because one thing that I am getting here in the Eight of Swords is that you could never have trusted that person blindly. So the universe often, or actually always, shows you something, gives you a desire, and then doesn't reward you with it, to show you later down the line, that was a salt daddy. That was salt, that was not sugar. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time for you to realize that the big changes are happening for you, not to you, group number one. That the universe giving you rejection in the form of this person that it didn't work out with, and also, for example, an enemy rejecting to continue to be an enemy. It's to show you how things can change for the better for you. All right, so group number one, I'm going to clear and cleanse the space, and then I'll be back so we can dive a little more deeply into your reading, because I am getting this message from your guides that there's still more to unpack and to uncover. So you don't have to do a thing, you don't need to lift a finger, group number one. Just continue to relax into this space and to enjoy your reading, and I'll be right back for us to delve even more deeply into your prediction. Hello, my gorgeous soul of group number one. Did you miss me? So let's delve a little more deeply into your reading, shall we, to figure out everything that you need to know. So we've got Isis, we've got Lord Shiva, as well as Paul the Venetian. So we have a very eclectic mix of different people who have a message to share with you about the next unexpected upcoming chapters within your life. So let's start off with Isis, shall we? So she brings a message that magic is manifesting in your next chapters of life. Your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming a reality, but you have to stay focused. That is what needs to be done. You cannot allow for someone to take you off of your course. And what happens very frequently, I get this a lot with private clients who want to get back on their feet when it comes to their business, who want to make 10x the amount that they're currently making. Huge distractions are when things in your private life are not working out, especially in love. And the thing here within Isis and magic manifesting is that you have to learn to compartmentalize yourself away from anything that's happening romantically that is stressing you out or that's not working out for you. And I know it's challenging to hear that, especially when you love someone or when you've been in a long-term relationship or marriage and you can't just up and leave, or you can't just say to yourself, I'm just switching off my emotions now, or I barely even know this person anyways, so let me not let this stress me out. And some of you are such deep empaths and carers that even when you've only known someone for a few short weeks or a few months, you've already taken such a liking to them that it's hard for you to step away from overthinking about what they're thinking, what they're going through, and just focusing on yourself. And I want you to know here within Lord Shiva that the message we've got is for you to rise up, honor your inner force. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe in the sense of, okay, so not everything in life is always going to go strictly according to your plans. There will be challenges, but your biggest challenges, the biggest struggles are your teachers. That is the only way how transcendence can happen. So whatever irks you the most, whatever takes your focus off of your goals the most, I want you to always see that and remember that as like, oh, okay, this is a teaching. Oh, okay, actually this person that really gets under my skin is my biggest teacher. This is someone who's showing me some areas of myself and of my life that I have yet to figure out how to control. Now, Paul the Venetian brings you the message of experiencing grace. Share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. The more you share your gifts with grace, regardless of what anyone may say or think, the more you will actually find that more love comes towards you. And it's crazy how, especially in this day and age on the internet, strangers will ride harder for you than people that you know personally. The more you share your authenticity online about your business and also your creative things, the stuff that you love, okay, the stuff that you're good at creatively that you want to share with the world, the more authentic you are, the more you just give like 0 Fs, actually the more you will find your soul tribe. And that's precisely also what happened for me. The more I just did not care about what anyone would think, that yeah, I'm making these like woo-woo tarot videos and oh, it's strange and oh, well, you know how psychic things are and everything like that. The more I just didn't care about how it would be perceived, the more successful it became. And when I started to overthink and I started to care too much, that's when things started to get more challenging. So I want you, as we received here from shuffling, to always only surround yourself with positive-minded people. And if right now everyone around you is literally like a negative person, okay, there are podcasts, there are books, there are channels such as mine where you can quote-unquote surround yourself with the energy of someone who is a positive-minded person who believes in you. And also, group number 1, when's the last time you had a big drink? Okay, enough water, because I see you're dehydrated. That's why hydrate is showing up. If you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. Please, I don't want excuses, just drink. Now, coming back to the positive-minded people, group number 1, make sure that you are paying close attention to who makes you feel good, to who makes you feel like every time you're around them, you're actually receiving healing. That's what I'm getting here for you, that Spirit wants you to start to pay attention to. When you are around a friend, you should actually not feel depleted by the time you're done. You shouldn't feel like, oh, I now need a vacation from hanging out with this person. If that's something that you're experiencing, you may want to consider seeing that person less or cutting them out of your life completely, because the energy that you're using there, let me tell you, you are a philanthropist. You are born to give back. You are born to be this person who shines this bright light on other people's situation that may have been challenging, but you are like the uplifter. You're the catalyst for other people to feel inspired and to step out of their shell and to actually do things that they never had the courage to do before. All right, and I want to get some more precise messaging here. I love these letters that we've got. Okay, so we have a reliable. That is you, group number 1, reliable to the core. Here we go. Now, able to be trusted to do what is expected or has been promised. Able to be trusted to be accurate or to provide a correct result. Group number 1, if you see yourself as reliable, make sure that you leave a balloon emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you are team reliable. Because what I am getting from your guides is that reliability is the most important. You expect that from yourself, you deliver that. So why can't you expect that from others? Especially as you're giving back, especially as you're such a generous person. Next, we've received reap. So the definition of reap is to cut and gather a crop, especially a grain crop, from the land where it is growing, to get something as a result of something that you do. So I do see that the more you give back, the more you actually reap what you have sown. The more you can gather all of this beautiful energy that you've put out. So the next unexpected part of your cycle is that you will come to this point where you feel like you are giving someone the last shirt off your back, figuratively. All right, so you're giving them your last energy, your last time, as much money as you can without feeling like it's deeply, deeply uncomfortable, but still there's some uncomfortability there. And you giving out, you're rewarded tenfold. The universe is like, group number one is such a pure, beautiful soul. We are now going to reward group number one in a way that shows the universe is watching even when no one else is. Because you do the right thing even when no one is watching, and that's something that's rare and that we have to cherish more in this world, group number one. And I want you to know that everything you have given, you're going to reap it tenfold, hundredfold. It is reliable, because this is literally the law of the universe. There's no other way that things are going to work out other than that you will reap what you have put out there. So group number one, this is the reading that you were meant to receive. I trust that this came at the perfect moment and delivered all of the insight that you needed. I'm sending you so much love, group number one, wherever you are on this gorgeous planet, and I cannot wait for us to connect during one of your upcoming readings. Hello, my gorgeous soul of group number two. You chose the Witch's Wisdom Oracle deck as well as the red Jasper in order to figure out precisely what the next chapters and revelations in your life are going to be that are completely unexpected. So let's get straight into it. You guys, I cannot wait to uncover all of these messages for you and to delve really deeply into the unexpected. So let's see what your guides have to say for you today. So first up, we've got the Watchtower of the West. This gives us autumn vibes. If you are watching this close to the time of me publishing this video, you are most likely experiencing these autumn vibes, and this is actually showing us that it is a time of change and a time to let go of heaviness that no longer serves you. So just as trees let go of leaves that they no longer need because they are using up valuable energetic resources, this is the message you're getting the next weeks and months. Just as you've got this autumn vibe in nature, the same vibe goes within your life and your connections. With Beltane, I do want you to know that it shows us here that it makes space for you building a family, building a close, fiery, passionate bond with another person, where you can then focus on creating your own family environment, having kids, talking about fertility, talking about a real future with one another, where you're living in a home that you've created together. And actually adding into your family is a huge next step. So fertility doesn't just mean that you will be fertile in the sense of human children. I want to remind you here that adding onto your family can come in the form of pets as well. It can come in the form of extended family and also kids that you're taking on from a partner, from someone else, kittens, little puppies. I want you to not rule any of this out just yet. Next up, we've got the Chalice. Okay, we've got fulfillment for you, group number two. Your reading so far has been extremely positive when it comes to your love life. Now, group two, if you have been worried that you will end up just alone by yourself, you'll never find the right one, or your relationship will never turn itself around, I just want to remind you of how quickly things can change, and also how beautiful this process can be, and to just enjoy it. Don't overthink the timeline. Often we start to overthink timelines when we meet people, like, oh, I think it's normal to get engaged within a year, 2 years, to have kids within X amount of time. Whatever kind of timeline is normal within your society and your traditions, because it varies, is going to be something that you're looking at, but Spirit is trying to say to you, don't focus on that. Focus on your fulfillment. Focus on how happy you are. Focus on what feels like the right timeline for you and your connection. There are people who meet and on the first date, they end up together, like kind of glued to one another. They move in with each other weeks or a few short months thereafter. They get married, they have kids, because when you know, you know. And they're with one another forever. There are people who take years, 5 years, 7 years, 9 years to get married, to move in with one another. And then as soon as that happens, they break up. So don't judge your timeline of your happiness. Just focus on the fact that fulfillment is yours, and don't overthink it. The herbal kitchen shows us some alchemist energy here. So you creating your own concoction, you creating your own ideal in your love life is what's coming in a really unexpected way in the next couple weeks. But also I do see cooking together, having a lot of teas together, herbs being very important, taking herbal supplements. And I see that these supplements are also kind of increasing your libido, kind of increasing how much you're into being intimate in the next couple months. And it's just happening coincidentally on the side for you. It's not like you were looking for something herbal to make you more in the mood to be intimate. It just is kind of happening amongst other increases in energy levels, amongst other positive influences and effects that the supplements that you are now finally taking are actually having on your body. For me, for example, I was always low in vitamin B12, and I have been taking some really high quality supplements. And now, since doing a blood test, actually, my doctor told me that my vitamin B12 levels, they're even slightly quote unquote elevated. Not that they're too high, but I can take less of these supplements. So sometimes it feels like, are these supplements really making a difference? Are they really increasing any kind of levels within your bloodstream, or is it just a little but not that much? I just want to remind you of the fact that herbal remedies and supplements are truly powerful in transforming not only your health, but also the health of your romantic relationships. Because when you're healthy, your relationships can be healthy. Next up, I've received the spell for you. Now, this card is a card that speaks to your manifestations, and your manifestations are coming true in the realm of love. For you, group number 2, the huge changes that we are seeing that are unexpected are all in your private life. They're all in your love life, in your relationship. You are experiencing huge fulfillment, new beginnings when it comes to connections with other people. And I do also want you to know here in the spell and manifestation that writing things down will always be eternally powerful. And one thing that I want you to do, as soon as you have received your full prediction, write down what you want from love. That will draw it to you more quickly, more precisely. And don't forget, in the upcoming weeks after you have received this timeless pick a card reading, because the moment you tuned into this is the moment you were meant to receive this reading, you will find that so much of your manifestations are coming true with ease and in a hurry. Next up, right here, we have the 4 of air. The 4 of air represents Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini energy. And here we have a very solid thought pattern of you first being really excited about your love life, first being super into these changes. And then what happens actually is you become so deeply rooted and conscious of being loved that you don't need as much reassurance anymore. If you have an anxious attachment style, or you're anxious avoidant even, I want you to know that your healthy relationship status that's coming towards you is going to help you to manage those emotions. Not that you should ever outsource managing your emotions, but the 10 of water that we received next for you in this deck literally confirms complete fulfillment, emotionally speaking. This is one of the most favorable cards when it comes to relationships and emotions. The 10 of water represents you having everything you could have hoped for. You have stability, you have care. We've got this turtle symbol that shows us that Once you've established a connection with that person, which will happen quickly, from there on out, you can get to know them and build in time. So yes, things are going to move very quickly to decide that you want to be with this person, and then from there on out, you are just enjoying the getting to know one another phase. You are just enjoying this whole vibe of being with your soulmate. Now, the Ten of Swords shows us here that the overthinking can finally come to an end. Do you see how the starfish is pierced, and the number 10 is the number of completion and of having gotten everything that there was to get out of a situation and then just being able to move on? Well, the Ten of Swords is you getting everything you could have gotten out of the overthinking. You're moving on because there's no more reason to overthink. You've got your person and you're on to a new chapter. Then we've got the Ten of Cups, which is the exact same card as the Ten of Water, just in a traditional tarot form. So we received the Ten of Water from this one deck, and now we have the Ten of Cups. This is the Dreams of Gaia deck, and this is the Animal Tarot, the Orion's Animal Tarot. And no, this isn't sponsored, you guys. I buy practically all of my decks myself, depending on what I'm feeling and what I'm liking at the moment. So again, ultimate fulfillment. Your guides are reiterating this. Your guides are representing a love life that is completely fulfilled, where you have everything that you desire, and there's nothing more to wish for. There's nothing more to want, group number 2. And the Queen of Wands gives us an indication as to who this person is. And don't be fooled by the fact that this is the Queen of Wands. It doesn't mean that they have to identify as female whatsoever. We all have both feminine and masculine energies within us. Regardless of whether you identify as male, female, anything in between, the Queen of Wands shows us that they have an even balance between masculine and feminine energies, because the suit of Wands is the suit of masculine fire energy, and them having this Queen counterpart shows that yes, they are all about doing and accomplishing, and they are a very driven person, but they also have a side to them that has this super self-reflective type of nature. And the Three of Swords shows that you will end up with someone who is a chronic overthinker. So they will be asking you very frequently how you're doing, how you're feeling, making sure that you're okay, and making sure that everything is to your liking. Especially important days such as birthdays, anniversaries, or even weekend plans, they will check in with you frequently on whether you are happy with what is going on or whether you would like a change. Now, the Wheel of Fortune shows us that this is actually the luckiest catch that you could have had, group number 2, because this is perfect for your attachment style. It gives you peace of mind. It gives you a sense of stability. It gives you a sense of feeling grounded. This is exactly what you had hoped and prayed for. The Wheel of Fortune is an indication of good luck that is coming towards you. And as we spoke about and have seen within your reading, most of the indications here are about your romantic life, your relationship, your love life. And then we've got the Page of Cups, which shows us that this is a completely new experience for you, especially having come from the background you experienced when it comes to romantic love up until this point. You never really thought that you would find someone who so deeply gets what you need in order to feel seen and heard and valued in a romantic relationship. So to finally have this come true for you, group number 2, it's beautiful for me to see as well. It's amazing. I'm so happy for you. And I just overall cannot wait for you to experience all of the improvements and upgrades that Spirit has for you when it pertains to your love life. Let's see what additional messages we're receiving. So, essay. A short piece of writing by a student on a particular subject. A short piece of writing on a particular subject that is published in a book, magazine, or newspaper. I want you to know here that what's going on with your essay and what's going on for you, group number 2, in correlation to the rest of your reading, is that you will receive either a very long text message or WhatsApp message, or actually a handwritten note that's like a tiny little essay, but it's a love letter that's coming towards you in the next weeks, since your love life is so fulfilled. Again, you receive the like very mind calming and very grounding energy and information from this person, because they give you reassurance. And when you have it in written form, you're going to save the message, you're going to reread it over and over again, and it will give you the stability that you need during busy times when you're working a lot, they're very busy, you both have a lot going on, and you sometimes get in your head and ask yourself, does this person even like me? So having something that you can always lean on and look at to remind you of the love that you share is truly like a blessing from your angels, that they are thoughtful enough to gift you with this. Now, group number 2, I do sense that there are more messages that have to be revealed for you. I will now clear and cleanse the space. You don't need to lift a finger or do a thing. Just leave a heart emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you've picked group number 2 and you're a real one who's still here and who's excited to figure out what additional messages that Spirit has in store for you that you must receive right now. So group 2, just hold on tight and I'll be right back with you. All right, group number 2, let's delve a little more deeply into your prediction, shall we, to figure out precisely what it is that is unexpectedly happening in the next chapters of your life. So first up, we've got Know Your Worth, as well as the day you plant the seed. My gorgeous soul of group number 2, your guides are trying to say to you that it is so imperative at this point in time that you know your worth, because that will also determine the seeds that you plant. Knowing your worth today means that you will plant seeds today that will yield crop that actually reflects your value properly. For example, in a world in which, let's just say, there are apples and pears are more coveted than apples, they're worth a lot more, and there's no reason why you couldn't plant pears, but you keep planting apples. If you plant pear seeds today, at some point you will yield the pears, which are worth more, which are looked at as harder to attain. But you have to start today, and then you will see the results later. And it's important that you remind yourself it really does not matter whether you take those apple or those pear seeds. You are worthy of both of those. So why would you pick the apple if the pear actually brings you ahead, if the pear actually does something for you economically, psychologically, and mentally? So next up here within beauty sleep, I can see for you, group number 2, that what comes in the next chapter of your life very unexpectedly is a lot better sleep, as you sleep and rest assured at night that you have done the best you possibly can. Now, beauty sleep is something that we all deserve and we should all take. We should all make time for beauty sleep. But depending on your work schedule and also your goals and aspirations in life, it can sometimes be challenging to get a sufficient amount of rest. And that's where I can see here from Spirit that it is so important for you to prioritize your sleep, and within the hermit to also sleep alone if needed. Some of us who have been in committed relationships or are currently in relationships like marriages, ultra commitment, and you're in the same bed night after night, and you have someone who doesn't sleep very calmly, someone who wakes you up all the time throughout the night. That is where Spirit is trying to say to you, you may want to look at a way how you can get some naps or some sleep that is truly restful, where you're not constantly being interrupted, because that can be challenging on your health. That can make it very difficult for you to actually ever feel fully rested. I do see here within the 7 of Swords that someone is trying to get away with a lie with you. So they got themselves all caught up in telling you, promising you so many things in the future that they can tell crap, I can't keep up with it. And I see here within the Seven of Swords that they're looking for a way how they can still kind of get away with it and save face. In correspondence to the day you plant the seed, I see that this is someone who promised a lot of things professionally to you, who promised a lot of monetary and time investment to you, and it's really just not something that's happening right now. Within the Queen of Wands, it becomes apparent, this is the Queen of Fire, that this is where you also have to take the lead. You have to step into your fire of just saying to yourself, you know what? I deserve better. I don't deserve to be lied to. I don't deserve to be treated like a second-hand citizen. I don't deserve to be treated in this way that leaves me feeling like someone feels as though I'm not worthy of the truth. I'm not worthy of clarity. And I see here within Isis that you are manifesting magic. Your dreams, visions, and goals, they are becoming a reality. But what your guides are trying to say to you at this point is that in order for this to truly happen and to manifest, you have to stay focused. The only way how you can stay focused is through ensuring that actually you get all of the distractions out of your life that are making you feel like your emotions are all over the place. And I know a lot of people say, well, you know, take a hold of your emotions. But at the same time, do we have to push ourselves to the limit? Maybe you're already taking a hold of your emotions when it comes to your career, so you then don't also need a partner that has your emotions all over the place. Maybe you're already taking a hold of your emotions when it comes to love, so you then do not also need a job that pushes you to the absolute limit, or coworkers that are constantly just looking to start some sort of issue or some sort of argument. Group number 2, Melchizedek is the card of higher learning. You have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further progress. For you, group number 2, I definitely can tell you have learned a lot from your inner experience. You have learned a lot from self-reflecting on situations and how you handled them. Right now, what is important for you is to continue this inner study, to continue to actually give yourself credit for the areas of your life and the areas of your personality that you're really good at, and also to steer clear of being hard on yourself for things that you're still learning. Bridget represents inner strength as well as just being a human too. Know that, of course, certain situations will trigger you. Of course, you're not always going to be in 100% control of every emotion in every situation. It also depends how much you like the person who you're involved with. I see here within Bridget that this is a sign of you moving back to wholeness. Recognize that you have got the power to do so. Recognize that the only person who can move you from a state of feeling out of control of your emotions back into control is you and your inner strength. But as already mentioned, sometimes people will trigger you just in order to show you areas of your life and your self-confidence in which you still need to up knowing your worth and be a little less bothered, be a little less in a state where you're so worried about how someone else feels about you. Next up, we've got the Miriam. The Miriam represents your sacred vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in it all. Remember that love has no boundaries. Sometimes you have got to choose to forgive. You have got to choose to just say, you know what? What this person did with the lying, with the infidelity, with the promising one thing and never delivering it, it was really crappy. They shouldn't have done that. They were wrong for that. But I'm choosing to forgive so I can heal. Forgiveness doesn't mean that what they did is okay. Forgiveness doesn't mean that you're giving them a hall pass or you're saying that, oh, it's fine, you can do it again. Forgiveness means that you see the light in the situation of understanding you will not repeat that again. You will see people's patterns before they're able to harm you in that way. And it means that also you are not the kind of person who is going to retract love as soon as something gets challenging. You retract love when people show you that they're not worthy of it. But you are the kind of person who sticks by another human being's side through the good and the bad. And it shows that your love is boundless, and it says a lot about you. And literally all you need is to find someone who actually appreciates that. All you need is to find someone who really values that. And I want to remind you at this point that just because someone can afford something doesn't mean that they value it. And what comes to mind is this tale, maybe you've heard of it before, where the father tells his daughter, his young daughter, so this is a child, he gives her a diamond and he says to her, go to the flea market, go to the antique shop, and go to the jewelers and ask them how much they're going to give you for this diamond. Now, she goes first to the flea market, and at the stand of the flea market, the lady tells her, I can give you $2 for this. Then she goes to the antique shop, and the guy at the antique shop looks at it under a magnifying glass, looks at the diamond. Nothing has changed about the diamond. It's the same diamond that her dad gave to her and told her to go to all of these people with. He looks at it and he says, this looks nice. This looks like something I could resell. I'll give you $200 for this. Then she takes the diamond and she goes to the jeweler. And when she gives the diamond to the jeweler to get a quote on how much the jeweler would buy the diamond off of her for, the jeweler, literally, his face lights up and he's like, this is the most beautiful, extraordinary piece I've ever seen. I'll give you $2 million for it. So notice how nothing changed. The diamond remained the same. The diamond did not lose its shine. It did not change its composition. Nothing about the diamond changed. It remained as it was. But what did change was who was looking at the diamond. And that determined the value. But the value of the diamond in itself, it never changed. It just depends on who's viewing it, on whose viewpoint. Just depends whose viewpoint is being considered. So remember, you are this diamond. You don't belong in the flea market. You don't belong in the antique shop. Only go to jewelers. Figuratively and quite literally speaking. Only go to those who value you. Only go to those who see you and their face lights up. Only spend time with people where you can tell that they actually truly see you as the diamond that you are. Don't try to change yourself, because there's no point in changing a diamond. There's no point in the diamond trying to be something that it's not. A diamond will never be a pebble or a rock. So my gorgeous soul of group number 2, I want you to take this story with you, and if there's one thing that you take with this reading, remember you are a precious diamond, and leave a diamond emoji below in the comment section to reaffirm and to manifest this into your energetic existence. So group 2, this is the reading that I've received for you. I hope that you found it insightful, and I cannot wait for us to connect during one of our upcoming predictions. Hello, my gorgeous soul of group number 3. You chose the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck, as well as the Rainbow Fluorite crystal, which is cloud-shaped. I absolutely love this stone because it is a stone that actually helps you to remember your dreams. So after you've received this reading, which is a timeless one, you're receiving it at exactly the time you should, I want you to keep a journal or a piece of paper next to your bed and a pen so you can write down your dreams, because you will have some very meaningful situations show up for you that will give you an illumination, a sort of like spiritual enlightenment moment. So to delve into your reading, first we've received the 4th house in form of this card. This is the house of your cultural and family roots, your home, peace, and comfort. It also corresponds to the zodiac sign of Cancer, which is the sign of home bodies. I myself am a Cancer sun, and I want you to know here in the 4th house that this represents all of those times that you wanted to just stay home instead of going out, where you wanted to just have this feeling of coziness rather than going out for plans that you actually were never that into. to. And I see here within mutable that what comes in the next season of your life is a lot of it just being okay that that's what you're doing. You're only surrounding yourself with people with whom you can actually express these needs towards. So, for example, if you had friends in the past that always made you feel pressured to show up, that always made you feel pressured to be part of plans even though you were tired or sick or you just needed a break, I see here within mutable that you are actually welcoming the change of understanding those are maybe just not your friends. And right now you need people who understand that your mental health comes first, that feeling safe comes first. The same goes for romantic relationships. You may have accepted people in the past who have these very wild kind of emotional ups and downs, who always leave you feeling like you don't know where you stand. And I do see that you're removing all of your eggs out of those types of baskets because your eggs are too precious for that. Your eggs are also very breakable. Okay, they're delicate. You don't want to leave them with people who don't know how to take care of your eggs, or shall we say your feelings, your heart, because that's what these eggs actually represent. But you guys already got that way ahead of time. Now, here within the 6th house, this is actually the house that represents the sign of Virgo. This is the house of establishing a solid foundation. This is the house of you finding this kind of like daily routine that really serves you, and all of the little practical details, right? Like, for example, having meal deliveries on order, having grocery things on order, such as toilet paper, salt, olive oil, whatever it is that you use on a regular basis, rather than having to like think about it separately, you just already have it sorted and figured out. Now, here within the 6th house, this is the house of establishing more of that. So what comes next in your life is actually finding this routine that you always wanted of a life that feels really put together, that feels really organized, because you haven't had that in forever, my gorgeous soul of group number 3. Or maybe you've never had it if you've come from a up and down and chaotic household, and you've come from parents who are super chaotic and who parentified you, so you often had to be the organized one and the grown-up one. Now, in the North Node, you are destined to have, that is what your guides want to say to you for these upcoming weeks and months. The things that you have always wanted and desired, you are destined to have them. The North Node shows us here that there is a way, there is some sort of flow, some sort of river to the things that you truly desire. And with an opposition, we've got this point of tension, okay, a bit of an imbalance, a little bit of a power struggle, if you will, that you are facing and you're winning. So within destined to have in the North Node as well as your opposition, anything that has to do with your career, anything that has to do even with sports, something competitive in your life is what I'm getting here. Numbers. You are outbidding the person who's trying to go up against you. They don't stand a chance, group number 3. You are really in your best shape. That's what I can see here for you. And that's what becomes clear within the North Node as well as opposition. I do see here within the Page of Wands that this young fire sign, so this is a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, they have been really cocky towards you. They have been making it seem like they've got everything figured out, but when you actually give them a run for their money, it's like they are no longer able to speak so highly of themselves because you're overtaking them through maturity, through experience, and through hard work, because hard work beats discipline any day. And here within the 5 of Swords, you are uncovering all of the lies, all of the deceit that has been going on as of recently. And I see that you've also always had this really on point 6th sense when it comes to mainstream media and things that are going on that seem like they're conspiracy theories, but actually they're not. I see here in the 5 of Swords that You always have had this sixth sense of knowing precisely when someone is lying and when someone is telling the truth. And the Ten of Pentacles is that confirmation that popped out of the pile while shuffling that says you always hit the nail on the head. You're always right on the money. Okay, my gorgeous soul of group number 3, you are always in a position where what you say is literally how it is. Stop questioning yourself so much. What is also coming as an unexpected next chapter is that you have these multiple streams of revenue and they're all doing better than expected. They're all doing more revenue than you thought that they would. Everything is going more smoothly than you actually anticipated. And the thing is, this is not happening by accident. It is because you have spent more time manifesting and meditating into the state that you desire to be in than you've actually realized. You remember all of those nights that you were heartbroken over that person, you were thinking about them, you wish that you weren't alone? Yeah, that was actually you in many, many, many moments feeling into how it would feel like to actually be next to another person that you love and that wants to be around you. You remember those times where all that you wanted was financial freedom, financial safety, and you did actually also feel into what it would be like to live in a house where you don't have to pay exorbitant amounts of rent. You are not worried about filling your fridge with groceries. You're not worried about how you're going to pay for your health insurance, for example. You're not worried about your car note. The Ten of Wands shows that this is being packed up. It's coming to an end. You have experienced this, group number 3. And it's funny how a lot of people who went through the beginning struggles, oh, excuse me, I almost added another card in there. A lot of people will tell you, enjoy the struggle. Enjoy the pain, enjoy the struggle, enjoy the uncertainty, because once you're out of it, you're going to think to yourself that in a weird way, you kind of miss it. Like in a weird way, you're like, oh, that was actually such a fun time in my life. That was actually a time that taught me so much. That's what I'm getting here in the 10 of Wands for you, group number 3. So next up, we have the Knight of Wands reversed. So remember, every moment is fleeting. The only thing that is a constant in our existence on this planet is change. That's the only thing that will always remain the same. And the Knight of Wands tells you to never take anyone for granted, because the Knight of Wands reverse shows that in the next months there is someone who's leaving, they're moving to another place. You didn't expect that, so it is going to be something that takes you by surprise. I do see that you are happy for them. You want them to go and build. You want them to establish their own healthy routine. You want them to be happy in their skin and in their life and in their existence. You want them to do well professionally. But from a quote-unquote selfish perspective, you never wanted them to leave. You never wanted for them to go away. That's what I see here within the Knight of Wands reversed. So next up, we have the Ace of Cups for you. The Ace of Cups, this shows a new beginning, romantically speaking, with a close relationship and connection. The Ace always represents a new beginning, and the suit of cups is the suit of your emotions. It is the suit of your feelings. It is the suit of romantic love as well. So this definitely shows us that what comes in the next couple months that you did not expect is this new connection. And we'll delve a little more into detail about this. Don't worry, my gorgeous soul. Let's just add one more card into your layout, because I like for everything to be balanced. Otherwise, it just drives me nuts a little bit. So next we have the Eight of Pentacles. The next couple months will be months of gaining more skills, of growing your skills when it comes to your professional life, but you're doing it with ease, okay? Reading is something that you're taking up again, that you kind of fell out of love with for a while, and also learning, listening to only educational content, and becoming almost obsessed with it again. That's what I see here within the Eight of Pentacles. So coming back to the Ace of Cups, let's see how long they're after this reading. So we've got 12 days after this reading, you will have someone that enters your life who is this romantic interest. All right, my gorgeous soul of group number 3, 12 is your magic number. Mark your calendar. Let's add a sign to this. We've got Taurus energy. This is earth sign energy. Taurus, sun, moon, rising, or stellium is what I'm getting here for your Ace of Cups message. So look out for this, my beautiful soul of group number 3. Taurus is an earth sign that is ruled by Venus. They're very detail-oriented and they like all things that are beautiful. So make sure that you leave your house looking, feeling, and smelling your absolute best. So next, I've received this message for you, Frank. An official mark printed on a letter or parcel to show that postage has been paid or that postage is free of charge, a Frankfurter. So I want you to know here that this is happening. Spirit has already paid for the postage for this person. They're already on their way. All right, there's no stopping this. They're coming into your life. So if you are currently in a relationship, you don't have to start anything with this person. Just enjoy the attention. And then we have foreign, not usually associated with a particular person or thing, not related or relevant, being beyond the jurisdiction, an area, or a country. All right, so foreign is something that you will notice about them. They're not from your area, they're not from your county or your country, they're not from where you're from. They're different, they're foreign, they are quote unquote exotic for you, my gorgeous soul. And I want you to know that sometimes this is really what does attract us to other people, when they are different, when they have something that we don't have or that we feel as though we kind of lack in a way. Now, it takes a strong man to save himself and a greater man to save another. I want you to know here for the next days, there will be someone that asks you for help. And you know how to save yourself. You know how to take care of yourself. But when it comes to other people, sometimes you have to weigh whether this is a time to try to save another person or be there for them, or whether they actually just don't have any interest. That is also sometimes the case. But I would always recommend that you go the route of checking in one too many times with someone than to think, oh, they've just got it or they don't have any interest. Like if you have a close friend or someone that you've been seeing, you've grown close to them and they have been consistent. They've shown you that they care as much about you as you care about them. And all of a sudden, they kind of pull back and you notice it's a little bit of a weird energy. Let's not take our mental health for granted. Let's not take that with ease. Let's not feel as though this is something that can never go left, because I know you couldn't forgive yourself if you didn't check in on that person and the next day in the news you hear of like a tragic accident in their apartment block and it ends up being their apartment where something like that happened. So remember, this is your time to just check in on that person who has gone silent, who has gone quiet, for whom that is very unusual. So from the Lion King, we have another quote. I'm only brave when I have to be. Being brave doesn't mean you go looking for trouble. This is a clear sign from your guides that you don't have to look for more challenges, especially in correspondence to the Eight of Pentacles. You are already challenged with so many things in life. You have people to save, people to take care of. Your love life is looking fun, interesting, foreign, different, exotic. Don't be unnecessarily brave, all right? Don't go looking for extra work. At this point in time, you've got what you've got on your plate. Spirit is telling you don't take on new projects, don't start a new company, don't start a new business venture, don't go into a new agreement with anyone for the next little while, because the things that you have already take a good chunk of your attention and of your energy, and what you want to do is to avoid eventually feeling super overwhelmed, because there's a fluctuation taking place with your current projects and your current work. Right now, it may feel like you can add another thing to your plate, But when you're actually chowing down on the plate and you're starting to realize how full that you're getting, you're going to think to yourself, oh, I probably should not have taken on that extra thing. So make sure that right now you keep everything as slim as possible, because there will be a little bit of bloating, so to say, of your current situation in the next couple of weeks, and you'll be happy that you didn't pile more tasks onto your to-do list. So my gorgeous soul, I do sense that there are a few more messages that we have to look into, that we must receive for you. You don't have to do a thing, just continue to lean back, relax, and enjoy your reading as I clear and cleanse the space, and then I'll be right back to guide you even more deeply into your reading. My lovely soul of group number 3, welcome back. Did you miss me? Okay, we have a clear yes that popped right out of the pile immediately. So group number 3, you are getting a clear yes to the thoughts that you're having right now about what you should do next. Yes, you should stop procrastinating. Yes, you should clean out your cellar and your garage. Yes, you should eat the apple over the unhealthy pack of chips. Yes, you should make that phone call your mother. Yes, you should drink more water. Yes, you should take your supplements immediately, group number 3, and don't stop, all right? You begin with your positive habits, with your good habits, with your empowering habits, and then you don't stop. You carry on. You continue to do big yeses in your life. And you know what those yeses feel like, group number 3. You know about your personal yeses. For me, my personal yeses are going to the gym. They're eating things that are unprocessed. It's doing my work, being focused, making sure that I'm constantly trying my best to make a difference in this world, to support you guys, to give you guys insight in every way that I can. My big yes is also to stay goal focused. And you probably have the same, group 3. Then we also have the 8 of Pentacles, which is again the card of growing in your craft and continuing to stay into what it is that you're doing professionally, to continue to grow at what you are good at professionally and become the expert. So know here that having these habits, these positive habits, sticking to them, growing them, getting better and better at them, over time, it will start to build confidence in you, whether it's working out, eating healthily, whether it's making sure you're the best daughter or friend that you can be. And the Queen of Wands reverse is an indication that what will leave your body is any type of feeling that you need the outside world to confirm something for you to do that. You know, when one person can change your entire mood for the day, when you've given someone that much power. I'm sure you've been there before, group number 3. I think we've all been there. Group number 3. And I also do believe that if we could look at what we did from the outside, if we can look at it from a third person perspective, we would think to ourselves, why did you do that? Why did you allow that? But it's okay. We're not here to judge each other. Remember, there are hidden blessings in this. That's also why this card popped right out as we were shuffling. There are hidden blessings in learning these lessons and having the people that quote unquote hurt you the most be your biggest teachers, be your biggest lessons on what to do, what not to do, and where it is so important for you to maintain control over your own destiny, your own emotions, and what you're doing with your life. We also have the forward movement card that shows up next for you, group number 3. So what's coming next is fast forward movement, and when you've kind of like distanced yourself from the feelings of allowing someone else to dictate your mood, when you've distanced yourself from the feeling that you need this person, I want you to know your forward movement will be fast, it will be beautiful, and it will come with this learning of, okay, people come and go within your life. Some people are a constant. You may have a best friend that's a constant. You may have your mom, your dad, a sibling, someone close to you that has been with you either since birth or for so many years that more or less you can say, all right, they're a constant in my life. Even their change can happen, but You know you have some relationships that you can just rely on, and everyone else is a learning lesson. Everyone else gets you cautiously dipping your toes into the water, not you jumping all in, all right? And everyone else has to overcome some tests before they are the kind of person that you are going to take a deep dive with. Everyone else, you're just dipping in your pinky and then you're seeing, okay, is this safe? Is this the kind of person who understands how to protect me emotionally? I see here within Lady Portia that we've got the message for you to do what feels right. An important lesson is unfolding for you. Group number 3, at times you are not going to want to be this person who does too much, who is quote unquote too dramatic. But group number 3, you've also just got to listen to what feels right. And sometimes you just have to express your emotion. Sometimes you just have to express your feelings. Sometimes you just need to say what it is that you're going through, and then you will realize, oh my goodness, actually, what I was trying to say, because sometimes explaining what you really meant is precisely what is needed in order for you to recognize the fact that choosing loving thoughts is still the end all be all. So love is yours. Recognize your worth and the worth in your words, and the fact that if you have expressed love to someone and they didn't recognize or see the value in it, but you expressed that love anyway, the real loser is them, not you. If you're a loyal, caring person and you had focused intention on another individual and they couldn't recognize the value in it, whose loss is it really? And I want you to remember that thinking about what you desire and to set your aim high is really important. And of course, fight for what you want, whether it be professionally or in your personal life. Expect the best possible outcome. Expect the best possible outcome from yourself and through your own efforts and labor. When there is someone else involved and you are noticing that you're putting your best foot forward, but they are never doing the same, then it's time for you to find other people who also put their best foot forward. Remember, a relationship is basically also like a business. It is important that both people are invested, literally, and both people show up. But sometimes you're also going to have to pick up slack for the other person, or they may have to pick up slack for you. Because sometimes you'll be at 100% and they'll only be at 30. And you're going to have to make up for the 70 that they're missing, and vice versa. You may on some days be at 20 or 60, and they're going to have to make up 80 or 40. So it is a give and take, and it is really you seeing who understands this concept, who understands this being a reality for a long-lasting connection or business relationship, and who is only there when it's easy and fun and great. So group number 3, this is the reading that I've received for you. I trust that this was insightful to you. And group number 3, wherever you are on this planet, I'm sending you so much love and care. And I can't wait for us to connect during one of our upcoming readings together.